Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jeff from The Used. I'm so excited to come down to Colombia and hang out with you all. I can't wait. First time is always the most exciting. So please come and find me and give me a big hug. And also a big shout out to Alejandrosis on YouTube, my homeboy.
Hola amigos del canal de Alejandrosis, bienvenidos a un nuevo capítulo. En esta oportunidad seguimos con las bandas que serán partícipes en la primera edición del Glory Dayz. Este concierto a realizarse el 13 de marzo en el Movistar Arena de Bogotá y que convoca a protagonistas de lo que fue la corriente del emo y el punk melódico a inicios de este milenio. Hoy tenemos como invitados a la agrupación de Used, proveniente de Utah en los Estados Unidos, y que va a ser este gran complemento junto a los canadienses de Simple Plan, los británicos de Asking Alexandria y también ahí sus coterráneos, la banda All Time Low. Tenemos a uno de sus integrantes y quiero que me acompañen. Bienvenidos. Antes de compartir el diálogo que tuve con el señor Jeph, bajista de The Used, quiero invitarlos a que por favor se suscriban a este canal, activen las notificaciones y si les gusta el contenido lo compartan. Eso es fundamental para seguir adelante en nuestro objetivo de hablar de conciertos, lanzamientos discográficos, álbumes clásicos y también seguir apoyando a las bandas de rock y metal colombiano, ya que en Alejandrosis son prioridad. Bien, The Used llega por primera vez a Colombia, una de las bandas que con 25 años de carrera hacía parte de MTV, cuando MTV ya estaba en sus últimos momentos de programación musical. Hoy en día es un canal que, bueno, no entiendo todavía quiénes lo ven, nada tiene que ver con la música, pero hacia inicios de los 2000 en programas como 120 Minutes, The Used era uno de los favoritos y que se sumó a todo ese fenómeno del llamado emo, o algunos también lo llamaban rock melódico, post-hardcore, bueno, un montón de etiquetas, donde ellos eran una banda de culto. No fueron tan masivos como otros grupos, pero sí hay un público que los sigue con bastante fidelidad y que estoy seguro que en el Movistar Arena no va a parar de cantar sus canciones. La banda lanzó el año pasado su noveno trabajo de estudio bajo el nombre de Toxic Positivity y en esta conversación el músico nos va a hablar algo de lo que fue el proceso de composición durante la pandemia y otros detalles para que hagamos la previa con The Used. Así que comencemos.
No idea. I'm so excited. For me, the first time in a country I've never been to is always the most exciting, especially playing a show in. So fans that we've never had a chance to connect with or meet, we're going to be able to, which is so much fun.
Wonderful. What happened now with the band? Are you rehearsing? Are you preparing something from this year outside from this Latin American tour?
We just had a break. The last tour we were on was in November. And so we've been off since then. And we're planning for, we're going to Brazil and then we're coming to Colombia, and we're planning this out right now. And after this, we have two other tours that are coming up. We have a UK show or tour, I'm not really sure yet. And then we have a US tour, a Canadian part too. And then one full giant, another US tour that we're going to do on later this year. But the second half of the record that hasn't been released yet. And so we're planning on releasing that record this year at some point.
Yeah, right. I read that you recording this album in a very short time. You put the challenge to recording one song per day, and you record 21 songs. Please talk me a little bit more about this hard process to making music.
Yeah, we did. So we had two different sessions, right? The first session was like a year into COVID. So sort of in the middle of COVID. Like you said, a song per day, sometimes two songs, within 10 days. So we got I don't remember how many songs in total in 10 days. It was like over 10, so like 12 to 13 songs, And at this point in time, this first session of it, Bert was going through a lot of mental instabilities and some substance abuse kind of mixtures going together, you know, and so it was a very hard time for Bert mentally at this period. And so vocally, when you listen to the songs that came out of that section, you can hear like a lot of darkness and a lot of anger and a lot of like unknown, you know, needing help, you know. And then fast forward to a year and a half-ish after that recording, before we were going to release the record, we decided to go back into the studio and do it again. So we did another 10 to 12 songs in 10 days, same kind of thing, like a song plus per day. And at this point in time, Bert was doing a lot better. He was kind of come out of his cave that he was in, and he overcome a lot of the problems and a lot of the mental stuff that was going on. And if you listen to the songs that came out of that, there's a way more positive outcome and sort of a overcoming, you know, sort of like the last song, Giving Up, how it kind of has that like, I'm not going to give up, you know, like it kind of like anthem-y feel good chant, you know.
Well, very interesting. And that's the origin of the record, the title of the record, right?
Toxic positivity. Yeah, it kind of fits together with that whole vibe if you think about it, you know.
Okay. Wonderful. And what can you tell me about the reception, about the reception of the fans? And I don't know if you are interested in what said the media about you, the reviews, right? What do you think about so far?
Yeah, so far it's done better than anything that we put out in at least 10 years. You know, like, so all of our like, it's hard because, you know, you have diehard fans that get obsessed with one record, you know, or two records. And there's a lot of our older fans too that are only obsessed with the first two, and that's it. That's all they like. But over the years, since we've been a band since like April or May of 2000, you know, so like almost 24 years we've been touring. We've seen the different levels of our fans, and each one of our fans have a favorite record, you know, it could be any of the records, and that's their favorite. That's their diehard. It meant something to them, you know.
The question is, in the moment that you are composed, you are more comfortable reaching the older fans, or is the new generation that are you currently looking for?
Yeah, you know, it's exciting. I'm excited to come down and meet people that I've never met before, you know, and have a first time playing shows for, and first time like getting the vibe of, I've said this before, like what's so cool about touring live and playing music is all art. You take all art, you take paintings, right? I was just saying this earlier, like you take a painting of like let's say Mona Lisa or whatever. Let's say, you know, dude is painting the most Mona Lisa, and I think he painted his own face into it, which is interesting too. But you're painting the Mona Lisa, and he has his vibe behind why he's painting it. And he's painting it because of whatever reason, you know. Let's just say the meaning of why he's painting is because it reminds him of his mom or something. So he's painting this painting because it reminds him of his mom, you know. And then we all come along, you know, and we see this painting and we're like, oh, that's amazing. It reminds me of my grandma, you know, or it reminds me of this person like my wife, or it reminds me, you know. And so whatever the original meaning is kind of doesn't matter, you know, but whatever the meaning that you take of it is what matters most, you know. And that's what's so cool about relating to music and art, is that you are, as a viewer, you're putting in so much energy and effort to making it become what you think it is, you know. And so when you're playing these shows and touring and you're seeing fans come out and singing songs and singing along to like a Taste of Ink or something, you know, it's like it reminds them of a point in time and a period in their life, or like a thing that happened to them, or like a parent or like a loved one or whatever it is, you know. And so they're putting in so much emotion. So when you're playing live, you're seeing all these fans coming out and singing like the top of their lungs because it's putting in so much energy. And so it's this like us trying to play a show and put in what we thought, you know, it is, and then fans coming out putting what they thought, and it comes into this like super explosive, energetic, you know, outcome, which makes me so happy to see every time, you know.
Yeah, for sure. That's amazing, man. You see in your career everything about the record industry. It's very interesting in the point of the time that they used appeared in the market, right? Because you see the era of the CDs, the downloads, the iPod, the YouTube, and now the streaming. How do you feel about these constant changes? And what is the point that you felt most uncomfortable with all of those changes?
Yeah, that's a great, dude. That is such a great question because yeah, we started that is no one's ever asked me that before. Let you know, that's such a good question. So yeah, 24 years ago, it was kind of the ending of the old ways, you know? And so streaming didn't exist. Record companies were trying to find a way to make more money. And we were on a major label at the time, you know, and so they were trying to switch over into these things called 360 deals, which pretty much means luckily this is before us. Like I think they kind of used us to help design one, but so what happened in the beginning, you would sign a contract and you kind of sign up with a record label, which would kind of just pretty much be a bank. You know, they would charge you interest and they would help you, but they would take money from you, kind of a thing, you know. But then you had things called 360 deals, which they started saying, okay, well, we as a label aren't making enough money. We need more money, so we're going to take it from the bands. So we want half of your touring money, we want half of your merch money, we want half of your like record money, we want, you know, they started taking away rights to bands in order to sign with the label, you know, and then it started getting worse and worse. And we were watching it all happen because we'd watch friends get signed, and all of a sudden friends couldn't tour anymore because the label wouldn't help them tour, and they couldn't make enough money on tour, so they weren't making it work anymore. Also, we saw when the internet started like piracy was really bad, you know. Our record Artwork, which is our fourth record, you know, it leaked 6 months early, 7 months early online. And so we were doing meet and greets, right? And kids were coming up with CDs with art, like artwork written on it. And we were signing, like, I don't know how many, I signed probably 1,000 of those. Like I signed so many like burnt CDs of fans because they were just excited and they wanted to hear it. But, you know, it's like we couldn't do anything about it. You know, like this record we worked like a year on was all of a sudden free all online for everyone. And our label, you know, gave up on it. They just were like, no, we don't want to deal with the record, so stop pushing. You know, and so that record didn't do that well because the label didn't push it and it leaked so early that everybody had it. And so then all of a sudden there was zero press for it at all. It was just kind of like a dead record. It was pretty wild. And it's still one of my favorite records.
Which record? Remember? Which record? Can
Artwork.
you? Artwork. Oh,
yeah,
the previous one. The
Artwork.
previous one.
Yeah,
okay.
There's the fourth record. Yeah, there's self-titled and Love and Death, Lies for Liars, and then Artwork. Yeah, that one. So it was just dead, really. And so it was interesting to see that. It was interesting to see our friends at the label being like, yeah, we can't do anything with your record. We can't push it. We can't work on it. Like there's just, we have to work on other stuff because we don't have any time or money or, you know, it was really wild. And then streaming started coming up after that. That's when you started seeing, we heard, you know, in the label, we heard people talking about everyone trying to move over to streaming services, and they were trying to figure out how to do it. So we were hearing all this stuff happen in the background, you know, and then streaming started, and then bands are still screwed from streaming, you know, but it gets you out more, so more people can hear it. So it's sort of like a double-edged sword, you know. It's like, you know, you don't get paid what the record's worth, you know, and enough, but way more people are hearing it, you know. But the guys at Spotify are getting richer, you know. So it's like one of those, like, oof. It's kind of good, but kind of bad, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And there's
that, and then present day. Oh yeah, keep going, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's very difficult. I know it's a lot of. Okay, I want to ask you about the previous album. You know, Artworks, you know, Hard Work, the previous one, the 2020. They featured Mark Hoppus and Travis Baker from Blink-182 as a guest. I understand they used have a long-standing relationship with Blink-182. You played with in the Boxcar Racer Festival. You are friends with them. I want to know more about the relationship with Blink, about the participation of Mark and Travis in your album Hard Work, and also what do you think about the reunion of Blink-182? They will gonna be play in a festival in March, in a Stereo Picnic Festival. They are the headliners.
Wow. Yeah, that's exciting. We had some other people help us too. We had Jason Allen Butler from Fever 333, a band called Fever 333. We also had Caleb Schwomo from a band called oh my God, Beartooth. on that record, which is pretty exciting too. But the Blank stuff was great, man. I mean, we did a tour with Travis back in 2000 in Boxcar, you know. So we've kind of known him kind of off and on for a long time. Mark was our first time being able to work with Mark, you know, and it was cool because we worked with them separately for different songs. You know, they didn't come in together and we jammed together. It was just Travis came in and jammed with us a whole day, and like we kind of just vibed with them, and it was cool reconnecting. And then Mark came in a different day, and it was cool to meet him and like reconnect with him, because we have done tours with Blink in the past and we've met the guys, but you know, this is the first time like getting able to sit and just shoot the shit, you know. So it was really nice. Mark is, you know, he's great. He's funny, really good with, you know, ideas of songs, really good with lyric ideas, just all around has a really good grasp on everything. It was really fun. You know, be able to play bass over some Travis Barker drums was so much fun too, you know.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, what do you think about the bands that you are gonna share the bill in this festival? The name of the festival is Glory Dayz, and you will play with Simple Plan, for example, also All Time Low and Asking Alexandria. Do you play with one of those bands early, maybe in your career? Do you know them?
Yeah, All Time Low. I'm friends with the bass player, and those guys have been awesome. You know, I love those guys. We played with a bunch of times. So it'll be cool to see them. Let me look. Let's see, Glory Dayz. Let's see. I want to see Glory Dayz Fest. I want to see all the bands real quick. Let's see who's playing, because I don't get to see these all the time. Oh, I can't do that. It would be cool to, my friends already text me from, some of the bands have already texted me telling me that we're going to be playing together, and that's exciting. Simple Plan, we were supposed to hopefully do a tour with Simple Plan in the future. Those guys are great too. Really nice dudes. Yeah, I'm not seeing where the bands are. There's a bunch of bands out there, right?
All Time Low, and also Asking Alexandria, and Colombian band. And a Colombian band.
Ooh, I'm excited to see the Colombian band.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be cool. All Time Low, like I said, is the player. Great guy. Simple Plan is the bass player. That great. Can't wait to see them. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Asking Alexandria, I've never met, so I'm really excited. Excellent guys.
Yeah, obviously.
Our tour manager was their tour manager for ever, so I had to put some of the faces, you know.
Las palabras de Jeph Howard ahí, dándonos una previa a lo que será el debut de The Used en este Glory Dayz, 13 de marzo, Movistar Arena. Lo decía yo en un video anterior, este Glory Dayz se asemeja mucho con un cartel más pequeño, pero una intención similar, y en la medida que esto sea un éxito va a seguir creciendo al When We Were Young Festival, que se hace en Las Vegas, Nevada desde 2022 y que tiene un cartel gigante de bandas que también lideraron todas estas corrientes. En los comentarios, por favor, háganme saber si les gusta The Used, desde cuándo conocen a la banda, si van al Glory Dayz, cómo les pareció su presentación. Todo eso me interesa saberlo, estar en contacto con ustedes. Mi nombre es Alejandro Bonilla. En mis redes sociales ustedes van a poder encontrar más contenido relacionado acerca de la música que tanto nos apasiona. Muy pronto nos volvemos a encontrar aquí para vivir el rock and roll. Hasta pronto.